o que é isso que tu tá vendo?
Silêncio. Tô aprendendo com o professor de Palmadas.
Pior é que tem gente ainda que assistindo ainda ali, né? Tu não vai fazer isso?
Salve, salve rapaziada, Rafa Albano aqui. E no vídeo de hoje a gente vai aprender, pega papel e caneta porque a gente vai aprender com o professor da palmada. Rapaziada, o conteúdo de hoje é um react de um vídeo lá do canal The Natural Lifestyles do James Marshall, que pra quem não sabe é um instrutor de sedução. Só que eu achei esse vídeo muito engraçado e decidi trazer pra vocês aqui porque, cara, ele tá dando aula de como você dá um tapa bem dado no momento íntimo ali que você tiver com uma mulher. Cara, achei isso aqui bizarro. Eu não assisti o vídeo ainda, vou assistir junto com vocês, então, sem enrolação, bora começar.
Right, maybe I've done various types, right, and then these interdispersed sensations are a big contrast to that. Right? Now, if I was to be flogging her for like 5 minutes and then I went and put my cock inside her, there's a massive shock in terms of the difference of sensation. Right? So there's one where she's got the pain, and then I insert, and then it totally shifts things. Right? So you see that I'm doing here, I'm going to show you a bunch of different spanks. But if you look at in general, if I'm applying my spanks interdispersed within this with these caresses. So this is dispersal, right? Especially if I give her a decent hit. All right, so then there's the impact and then there's dispersal of the sting.
Bom, o que ele tá falando aqui basicamente é você dar uma variada, né? Você dá uma palmadinha, você faz um carinho ali pra dispersar um pouco o impacto, né? Enfim. Mas, cara, que rolê aleatório isso aqui, né, velho? Tem algumas pessoas assistindo ali, tem algumas meninas filmando, tem outras que acho que estão esperando pra receber as palmadas, talvez? Será que ele ensina a dar e ensina a receber também? Não sei, vamos assistir.
Right, especially like if I flogged a little bit, maybe a tiny bit too hard, she would, and I come and I, rub it, because that's what you do when you hurt. You hurt something, you rub it, just dispersal of the pain. Okay, and we can also add in like different types of sensations with nails in between. Now, things like nails and biting to be used like spice, right? So, because if I do this once, that's going to be awesome. But probably if I keep doing it, it's going to get a bit irritating or annoying.
Perfeito, isso aqui é muito bom. Inclusive, no Assunto Infinito recentemente eu adicionei um módulo de massagem erótica, tá? E eu falo um pouco sobre isso, sobre você variar os estímulos que você vai colocar. De vez em quando você faz uma massagem mais forte, depois você vai com mais calma. Enfim, é um conteúdo que tá muito top lá dentro do Assunto Infinito, tá? Quem é aluno gostou bastante.
And I don't do this. This kind of thing, right? It's spank, caress, and I don't forget the rest of the body. Even if I'm focusing in on the butt. And so we've got these kinds of caresses in between. So I want to show you how to position a lady for that. So we've been getting her to move her hips in a circle, but we want to be able to draw them in and start to adjust them. All right, so can everyone see what I did there? So what I did was I reached onto, and I take her hip bone, and then I tilt it.
Tilted. Hello, how are you?
That's where it came from. Right, so, and I can even emphasize it by placing a hand on the sacrum and giving a command stick to herself. Right, so that, combine those three things together, very clear what I want. Right, because if I want to spank a girl and she's standing directly upright, it's not the best position for her. Right, I wanted to pop it out, and also that's sexier.
O cara tem várias técnicas, né? O cara realmente desenvolveu uma metodologia de como dar umas palmadas na garota que ele tá, né? Cara, bizarro isso aqui. Nunca tinha pensado sobre isso. Acho que eu vou comprar o curso dele, hein? Tô precisando aprender.
Yeah. Now I can also do that from this position here, and I can take it and tilt the hips like so. Or I can take both and tilt. Right? So This is something you need to get into the habit of being able to do. Right? So you're going to play with that just for a minute. So tucking, and this is a good spanking position, right? Because she's completely held by me. Because if I'm spanking her out here, firstly the impact's going to move her around, and it doesn't feel secure, right? So instead, sometimes I might hold her like so, But if I want to get the hip and tilt the hip, okay, maybe I can adjust here, maybe I've got a headlock here, right? Maybe I can even...
Não, mata-leão não, né, parceiro? Aí tu tá, acho que tu tá agredindo demais. Calma, calma. Um tapinha até vai, agora... Daqui a pouco o cara vai meter um jiu-jitsu na mina.
Here, right, but I've got the hip tilted. The other way to do it is from the pussy, which I won't do, which is where I grab it and just tilt like that, and that's hard. Okay, so we're going to start from the position that we showed you before. So remembering what we did is we popped her butt out. So I'm holding her in secure. So I'm left-handed, so I'll work from there. So there's a whole bunch of different spanks we're going to use, but first let's look at our targeting area. When she's standing, or let's say kneeling but is more or less upright, there's a different impact zone than if she's bent over. Right, because right now the butt is loose, whereas when she bends over on all knees, it's on her hands and knees, it's getting stretched. Right, so right now the target area is around the pocket. Okay, so this is our main chunk here, and then we also have underneath. Right, and because she's padded in this position, I can't hit over the ischial tuberosity, the bum bone. Right, whereas when she's bent over, I won't hit that because it's exposed. Now I'm going to hit the bone itself. Does that make sense? Yeah. So standing, I have a lot more margin for error. The butt is loose, so it gets more of the spanking, slappy noise. It's easier to do. Right, so we can start from there. So the first thing I want you to do, remember when we were practicing this morning with our floppy wrist action, is to just do this. Right? And that is just this. It's floppy in the wrist, because what makes bad spanking, and if you're doing it badly, there's no point doing it at all, is, rigidity in the hand. Right, so how does that feel?
I saw her face, it didn't feel good.
Right.
Ó, ele tá mostrando na prática e mostrando o jeito certo e o jeito errado, né? Não pode ser com a mão rígida, tem que ser aqui, ó. Só com o tapinha aqui, ó. É, peguei a manha.
Right. So that's where, I'm rigid, so the impact all lands in one spot and it doesn't disperse. Right. So no heavy, like stiff in the hand, and that's what I was emphasizing this morning, is I don't want to push from my arm. From this position, I mainly want to use basically gravity, because it's basically more or less going down. All right, so we're going to be working here, and then we can do under as well. So that's, remember we were practicing this in the morning, just like lifting through the fingers. All right, so it's that. All right, so for a little spank that's really just through the wrist and the fingers. This one here, coming from the top. That's coming.
Cara, eu fico me perguntando sobre a modelo, cara. O que leva uma pessoa... Não, eu quero ser modelo de um curso de palmadas eróticas. Cara, que bizarro isso, velho.
Coming from below, and it's lifting the butt up, right? The reason, and again, if I stiffen my hand, it doesn't get the right sound and it hurts. It's not good. So it's this looseness and relaxed through the fingers that creates, as it lands, everything makes impact at once. So the impact is dispersed across the palm of the fingers all in one go, right? Which creates a pleasant sting, as opposed to anything where I emphasize one part of it, it becomes a thudding kind of lump of wood. Right? So I'm going to start with here.
Cara, dá um close na cara dela, velho. Isso aqui é muito engraçado.
So from this position, all right, so she's a bit low, so there, tuck her in so she's at the right height for you. And if she's happens to be, if you bend your legs, she's like that, okay, tilt her, cool, position, good. Okay, so here, same thing, we're working cheeks here. So I'm just getting, it's much more important to get the form right than to get force. And like even with this floppy force, I can still, like if I just create more height, then it's going to increase the impact anyway. But you see there's no pushing through the arm, there's no physical force, it's just floppy like that. Alright, so a couple of variations I want to show you. This one's...
Agora mudou a modelo, acho que a bunda dela já estava um pouco doída, teve que mudar a modelo. Agora ele vai mostrar nessa outra de calça azul aí, ó.
Cool. So what this is spank, grab.
Ó, agora é bate e agarra. Presta atenção, anota, pessoal, anota.
Right, so it works. Feel good? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So the feeling that this has is the butt leg is shocked in, and then as it's bouncing back, it's held. Right, so it's a really powerfully dominant one. So if I'm here, I'm getting some warm-up spanks. Sorry. Yeah.
Opa, aquela ali foi errada, hein, professor? Aquela ali foi Aquela ali foi errada, hein, professor?
Yeah. So it's spank, and then I just cup up like that. Okay, so we got that one. Next, what you're going to do is get a girl to sit on your... So... Alright, so watch how I would put her in this position. Like that.
Não dá pra negar que o cara tem a manha, tá? E, galera, vocês pensam que não, mas todas essas jogadas de dominação que ele faz ali, de inclinar ela, ou de colocar ela de 4, ou de jogar ela em cima do sofá, isso aí faz diferença, cara. A mulherada sente que o cara tem pegada, entendeu? Assim, ó, eu tô zoando aqui no vídeo, mas eu respeito muito o trabalho dele, tá? Ele tem vários vídeos bons, inclusive eu já reagi a uns aqui no canal, tá? Enfim, eu trouxe aqui porque eu sabia que vocês iam gostar muito desse conteúdo e achei interessante também. É um pouco aleatório, né? Convenhamos.
Okay, so this is good because her butt is tilted up. And she's comfortable. She can, like, you know, if she's got a pillow there, which is nice, then she can just lie there and I can spank from here. And lying flat is the easiest position. You know, there's no tension at all. So from here, you can get this. Now, one thing to add is we can do this grasp. So I'll take a chunk of the butt and put it under tension. And for more advanced, what I'm doing is I'm going spank, release. We'll get there, but right, so it's here, I'm grasping, I can grip, so I've got my normal spanks. Don't forget your sensual touches, because like spanking will be really boring if I just go. Alright, it's got to have some feel to it. So it's like, and this is awesome, right, because I can touch everywhere on her body, you know, I can hold her by the throat, or by the neck here, you know, I can come down, kiss her, whisper things to her. Grasping, put under tension, there. Breathe in, breathe in. Mm-hmm. Breathe in, deep.
Oh, deep?
Mm-hmm.
Дыши.
And out.
Вот так делай.
Okay, so sometimes when I'm doing a harder stroke, which I won't get you guys to do now because they're not relaxed enough for it, but it's breathe in. Disperse. Okay, and then the other one I want to show you from this position is the cobra sting.
Caramba, agora a gente viu que o cara é profissional. Quando o cara dá nome pros golpes, tipo um Pokémon, cara, aí é porque a parada é séria, tá? Vamos lá.
One I don't use very often. This is an accent. Right? So this is something I'll occasionally do. And this, as opposed to this, which is a thud pain, so a dispersal pain, this, I'll just do one, see how you like it. Okay, different feeling?
Yeah, I like it.
Okay.
É o golpe especial, tá, galera? Esse aí é o golpe especial dele, ó. Viu? Picada da cobra.
So this is essentially, I'm whipping and I land with the fingertips. Right, so it comes in. And it's actually going rebound off, like the impact is on the reverse. It's more advanced, but you try it out and see how you go with it. So that's one that I'll do occasionally to, you know, add like a sting moment or a intense moment to it. Sting, yeah. So it wouldn't be good if I had 10 of those, right?
Yeah.
Okay, but 2's good, yeah. Okay, cool. So you see it's like, it's intense, so it's not something I'm doing a lot of, but do that from time to time, it's awesome. Cool. You can also spank on the top of the thigh, which is good to do, but I do that with less pressure than I do on the butt, because it's less padding. There's less fat here than there is here, so it'll sting more, so I can just do these, you know, little bits of thigh work here as well. And sting, and then disperse. Okay, so you wanted me to show you how I got her in this position again? Okay, can you hop up? Right, so that's literally this. Okay, and then if she's off there, I'll readjust her or wherever I need to, and it should be so that both of us are comfortable. We could stay here for ages.
How long is a spanking session?
Sometimes spanking lasts a while, yeah, because like it's not just spanking; it's ass worship is really what we're doing here, right? Because I can do all this, you know, I mean later I'll be spreading and rubbing the pussy, mixing in with it, right? So it's not necessarily I'm just spanking the butt. It's like, okay, cool, I'm focusing in on her pelvis, on her vagina, on her butt for this session. And, you know, like with dominance, with massage, you know, we can be having a daddy-daughter role play here. You know, did you do your homework today? Did you? Well, then what am I going to punish you for? Very bad girl, you did your homework. Okay, so we can play with lots of fun stuff.
Rapaziada, aqui no final eu percebi que essa aula toda provavelmente faz parte de um contexto ali de uma sessão de palmadas, como eles falaram ali, que é algo mais de talvez um sadomasoquismo leve, ou então algo relacionado para aquecer um pouco mais o encontro íntimo, né? Essa questão de dominação para encontros íntimos, enfim. Achei interessante, né? Decidi trazer pra vocês, espero que vocês tenham gostado. Falar uma coisa pra vocês, tá? Dentro do treinamento Assunto Infinito, como eu disse, eu lancei recentemente um curso de massagem erótica e tá muito bom, tá? Eu não ensino sobre palmadas, mas eu ensino qual tipo de massagem você deve fazer, como você sugerir massagem pra sua companheira. Isso eu acredito muito que pode aumentar suas chances de conseguir encontros íntimos com as garotas que você tá se relacionando. Ou então, se você é casado ou tem namorada e você quer apimentar um pouco a relação, é legal também você aprender a fazer uma boa massagem, porque isso vai te dar uma vantagem muito boa, fechou? Espero que vocês tenham gostado desse vídeo, tamo junto e até a próxima. Bom, encerrou aqui o vídeo. Paula, quero praticar contigo uma coisa, vem cá.